Hello from Code Vlogger. So today I'm going to make an attempt to implement a hash table from scratch in JavaScript. Now there are like a few basic things that you want to keep in mind when implementing a hash table. So I've not done this before, but like I'm obviously going to make a few mistakes on the way. But I guess that's what it's about, right? Learning from your mistakes. So normally we would use a JavaScript object, right, to uh, basically have the functionality of a hash table. But this video is going to be about implementing a hash table by ourselves without using JavaScript objects. So I'll just start coding and explain on the way. So there are a few things that I want to say, like when we would implement a hash table. This is like something you wouldn't be asked in interviews. Most cases I've heard people asking how to implement a linked list using arrays. That's the common question when it comes to implementing other data structures. Hash table is not asked that often, but I'll probably be doing a linked list video in some other time. But for now, it's this is a hash table. So there are like few things that you should be knowing when it comes to a hash table. So it's like if you are familiar with JavaScript objects or in other programming languages, it's maps or hash maps. So there's a key and then there's a value, right? And basically when we set the value, we basically present the key to the data structure, and then we also present a value to the data structure, and basically the data structure in that programming language would take that value and store it in the index of key. So this is basically what we have to do, and then when we want the value of that key, we basically give the key, and then the data structure returns the value for that key, right? So and then there's another thing which is like, since we don't have JavaScript objects for now, like, so we aren't using JavaScript objects, so we will be using an array. But in if we want a one the functionality of a hash table, we would need something like a string for the index, right? Because that's possible in a hash table, but not for an array. So how would we do that? So in order to do that, we will need a hash method. So you can learn more about hash methods if you just Google it. But I'm just going to show you a basic implementation of hash function. So this hash function, the one I'm going to show you, this is like this is what I learned in when I took this course on Udemy called Master the Coding Interview Data Structures Plus Algorithms by Andre Nagoy. And the way he showed it was like uh, I'll just type the hash function first, so that we get that out of the way. So hash, and it basically takes in a key, right? And what would we need to do? We basically need to present the key to the hash function, and it takes the key, and then it returns a numeric index, right? So this is what we need to do, which is why we need the hash function. So so just to start off, initialize the variable with 0, and this is just a basic implementation. You could come up with your own probably. So I'll just tell you what I'm doing in a bit. Okay, so I have to return the value of the hash. So it takes in a key, and then it'll like iterate over the key from its 0th index to the end, and then it's like you want to create a random number. That is why we do this. And it's like it's very possible that you can probably, you know, give two keys and get the same value, but this is just a basic implementation. That's why that is very much possible. But so we just want to create a random number so that we don't get the same index for two different strings. Obviously we will, but we just want to minimize that as much as possible. So it iterates to the string, and then there's we add hash plus, just to make it more random, and this cat code add. So this returns the UTF-16 value, something like that. But for now, if you've heard of ASCII values, so this is what it's going to return if you give it a number or a alphabet, and then we just multiply that with I. So, and this basically it gives a large number. Now we do the next thing we do is we do modulo the length of our data. So it's like, say if we wanted to create a hash table, which would be like 50 values. So this is what the length of our array would be, right? So that is what we give here, and after that, so if you modulo anything, like if you do a modulo 50, so anything modulo 50, so say x modulo 50, this would always return a value between 0 to 49, right? So this would make sure that our index is always between 0 to 49, because that is what we have for our array to store. So we don't want to go out of this range, because if our array would have something greater than 49, even if it would be 50, it wouldn't work, because that's the size we have stored for our index, as in for a hash. Okay, so I'll just get to the main part. So we write constructor, and here we have an array. So as I said, I want to create an array of 50 values. So what else would we have in our hash table? Yeah, so it would be set and get, right? So for set, you would need the key and the value, right? And the way we're going to do this is like, it's an array and it's not an object, so it would be a double dimension array, and for each inner dimension we would store the key value in a single array. So just to show you, so this is the key and the value, and then in another inner array the key and another value, and that is how we would know this value is the value for this key, this value is the value for this key, right? So to do a set method, so what would we need? We would take the key, and we want an index returned using this hash method so that we can store our key value pair. So to do this, we take our key, and that should return our index, right? And then we can just go to that particular index for our array, and for the first value in the inner array we would store the key, and for the second value we would store the value. So this is our set method, and for a get method we would need the key, and similarly we would want the index returned so that we can go to that index directly instead of having to search through the array, right? And then just return our value present in the inner array but in the second position. And the way we would do that, oops, yeah, so I guess that's it, right? So yep, so just to show you, we might have some errors. Okay, so const hash object new I hash table, and then so hash object dot set. I'm going to do a few of these, right? And say A will store apples, and B will store oranges, and C will store pears, right? And then I'll do a console log of our hash object, and also I'll do a console log after I do a get for our hash object. Say I want the B value B, right? Oops, yeah, how did I miss that? Okay, so we're getting this error because we are trying to access an inner array when there is no inner array as of now. So we can just access this 0th index as if we are assuming that there's an inner array or this first index. There is nothing, it's undefined as of now, and we just can't directly access this and store a key or a value in that position. So what we would need to do is, first we would need to make sure that we set or we store an array in that index, right? So the way we would do that is go to that index and set an array, and then push the value of the key and the value, right? So this data, sorry, I missed out the index. And then push value. So if I run it now, so as you can see, I've run into a problem basically, as it shows my hash table has 49 empty items and just one of these basically got set. So what's happening is that the 0th index has this key value pair of C and pairs, and So basically what happened was every time it just you know got the index of 0, and these things basically got overwritten. So first it had set A and apples in the 0th index, and then B and oranges in the 0th index, and this is the final one that just basically the one you can see here. So this happened because my length of my keys are 1, and as you can see I have this hash function which always returns an index of 0. Why? Because here I have this multiply by I. This is just going to run the first time where I equals to 0 for all of them, and it's always going to return a 0. So for now I'm just gonna try with something of a length of greater than 1. So basically say AP, the first two letters of each of my values, say OR and PE, and in the get I'm gonna do OR. So as you can see we have, so just don't look at the empty items because most of it is going to be empty, but there should be 3 values basically. So this 3 pairs of key value pairs basically. So this is the pears, this is the apples, this is the oranges, right? And then we did a get of OR, and that's what we got returned. Okay, so obviously there are many things that can go wrong with our solution. There are like a few things that we have not taken care of. So I'm going to show that in the next video, but I'll just tell you about them so that you can think on them from your own. So one of the things is like, say that was one of them. Like if we had a key of length of 0, that is one problem. So maybe we need a better hash function or something. Or even if we have a length of greater than 1, it's still very probable that we might have to store the value in the same index. So what do we need to do there? So if we go on with our current solution, that will just overwrite the value. So we would need to basically do something like store multiple key value pairs at the same index. So it would be an array inside an array inside an array. That's what would happen. It might not be the best solution, but it's like one of the solutions that you can do for that. So for now I'll keep it till here, and yeah, definitely not the best solution, but something we can improve upon. Thank you. I'll see you later.